die to the powerful right-click focus by the Weaver. Meanwhile, Clockwork does manage to die, to get a kill on the Vengeful Spirit, and now Windrunner gets the clock in return. So all these team fights are just going in the way of OK.Nirvana China. And sorry if I'm missing some of the names and stuff, but like I'm watching this on a smaller screen. I'm not watching this in full screen. I was having some lag issues before when I was watching that, so I don't want to lose that. But more importantly, we're going to see Weaver pick up this Aegis, and with this Aegis, I think Nirvana China, they're at their peak right now. I mean, they killed the Slaughter, they keep killing the Slaughter, even when he BKBs, crushes. Weir just right clicks him down, focuses. Palm is not doing enough damage that you focus her right now. So Nirvana China is at their peak. They have the heart on the Weaver, they're going to pick up the Aegis, and with that they can probably push for the base. But you don't, Bottom goes for an arrow, goes for an attack, tries to pick off the Beastmaster, is going to pick off the Beastmaster for sure, and Slaughter does blink in, and Earthshaker does manage to get a fissure, but Weaver gets the kill on the Earthshaker, and Moran is going to TP out to safety, and, you know, trading 1 for 1, Beastmaster for an Earthshaker, it's alright when Earthshaker has used ultimate. But Weaver's picked up the Aegis, and now he is literally unkillable. He cannot be stopped. Neither Bottom nor Slaughter can kill the Aegis. Slaughter has to back off, and he blinks away to safety. But I think, you know, Nirvana China is not going to get too much stronger than this. They have to think about pushing eventually. Meanwhile, we see Enigma has a BKB, has a Blink Dagger, has Magic Stick, Soul Ring, Strength Treads. He's pretty stacked, and his ultimate's not online. You can tell if the ultimate's up by the green dot under the hero portrait. So, yeah. Let's just see what's gonna happen. Nirvana China is taking this time to farm up, and, you know, that's the Chinese Dota style, and I kind of have to disagree with it in this case, because they're not forcing the issue. I think they're waiting for the Enigma Black Hole to be up, and then they'll probably push, which is probably the smart choice. But, you know, when the Slaughter's dead, when the Earthshaker's dead, you can try to put a little bit more pressure, maybe pick up a tier 3 tower, do a little bit of harassment. You can send the Weaver in by himself, and he has 3 lives with his time-lapse, with his Aegis, and with his massive amounts of HP and magic resistance. Beastmaster picks up a plate mail, that'll give him a little bit more armor, and I think Beastmaster actually had a heart as well. Beastmaster had a heart.
And it's off.
So Bottom does pick up the Mjolnir. So that's going to provide quite a bit of DPS, so you can't just focus on the Slaughter instantly. You have to provide a little bit of attention to the Bottom. And you can disable the Bottom because Slaughter does have the BKB. If you catch Slaughter in the black hole, you can just probably try to stun the Bottom, prevent her from doing a lot of the DPS that she will. But that Mjolnir, it's not insignificant in any means. Meanwhile, the Windrunner has picked up the Scythe of Ice, no longer Ginsu, because Ginsu works for League of Legends and would probably sue the shit out of Valve if they took his name without his permission. And he probably wouldn't give his name anyway, because, you know, they're competing companies, and competition breeds better product. So Bottom is going to pick up this Illusion Rune. I mean, the Enigma ulti is up, so I think, you know, once Nirvana China pushes out these lanes a bit more, I think they should try to go for a push, because, you know, Bottom's starting to get a little bit scary. She's doing pretty good amounts of DPS right now, and although Slaughter's been dying in pretty much every fight, he has his core, he has his Blink, he has his Vanguard, he has his BKB. He does a lot of damage with his Amplify damage, and, you know, he's pretty threatening. Meanwhile, Weaver, he only has really a couple item slots left before he gets capped out on his effectiveness, and although he's still by far the strongest hero in the game, along with having essentially 3 lives, you want to end when you're at your peak. You don't want to over-turtle, especially against 2 pretty strong semi-carries. Of course, Weaver being one of the strongest carries in this version. Let's see what's going to happen next. So, yeah. Weaver is going to farm up this wave. I think that might be a Demon Edge on the bottom. So he's probably going to get maybe an MKB or Bariza. And that's my next guess, because he's set for tank items. He has his heart, he has a Vanguard, he has the cloak. Actually, I think that bottom one was a hood. So he's probably going to sell the Vanguard, get the MKB or the Burrito.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, you know, Palm's just gonna push with illusions, with Manta illusion, with Mjolnir, with random illusions that she's been picking up. And Mineski, although they have been losing the team fights, I think they're fine with this. I think they recognize, okay, this Enigma is becoming a real problem. We're losing all these team fights because Enigma is just overpowering us. Weaver is impossible to kill. So what should we do? We should wait, try to see if OK.Nirvana try to makes a mistake. And if they don't, it's okay because we have so much more range. We can push a little bit more safely than they can. We have so much more range. We have the clock rockets across the screen. We have the Ancient Apparition Blast pushing back the creep waves. And we're going to help keep OK.Nirvana on their side of the river. But looks like OK.Nirvana is recognizing, I mean, we win team fights. We have BKB, we have Roar. We're gonna rape them when it comes to team fights, so they're gonna push mid. And looks like the Dire has to force to defend, so glad to see OK.Nirvana and China pushing down the mid tower, I'm guessing. Throws down Ice Blast. Hits a bunch of creeps, hits the Sea King. Fuck yeah, Sea King. He's just gonna right-click the tower a little bit, and with his heart, of course, heart regen is not disabled by tower, so yeah. But of course, having regen is just counteracted by having the... Meanwhile, Slaughter and Mirana are pushing down the bottom tower. Huge mistake happening to OK.Nirvana. Surely they're noticing this. TP back, Sea King. Oh, just Enigma's TPing back, but Panem is doing so much damage, throws down a black hole, but nobody's there to do enough DPS to follow it, and somebody cancels their TP. What the hell? Oh my god. What the fuck? I don't even... Yeah, so without the Enigma in the team fight, they're gonna lose because, you know, Enigma Black Hole was keeping this, and KSS goes down as well. Roar on the Slaughter, and Weaver's gonna right-click him down, but you can't really chase too effectively. I mean, you can keep chasing, but Earthshaker is getting some nice fissures, and Weaver not having the MKB cannot mini-bash. The Dire team are just gonna TP out, so wow. Really smart play by Mineski. I wasn't really expecting that at all. They took advantage of OK.Nirvana playing as 5. They standard Chinese team to go as 5. And you know what? They split push with their 2 hardest farmers, the Potom and their Slaughter. OK.Nirvana was like, surely they're going to TP back because, you know, Weaver is already hitting their tower. Weaver does so much damage. But, you know, slowing down by the Fissure, slowing down by Ice Blast is just doing so much, and I don't know. I don't think Weaver had a TP scroll. I think that was the main issue in that, because he has the Aegis, so he had no TP scroll. That must be why Weaver didn't TP back. And just Enigma TP back, and I don't know, cancel their TP, because Enigma's Black Hole is doing so much damage. But yeah, that lack of TP scroll is going to cost Weaver. Maybe he should sell his treads and get travels right now. It's not looking good. I mean, it's still looking okay for Nirvana China. They just lost the melee bot racks, which is very significant. But more importantly, I think that just allows the Mineski team to deal with the pressure a little bit more safely. You know, you can push the lane a little bit more aggressively. The Weaver doesn't have a TP scroll. I mean, he sold his cloak now, and he's using the TP scroll to farm bottom and push back this wave. But that's going to relieve a lot of the pressure and give Mineski so much more map control, and they already have pretty good map control. So Mineski's using their range to their advantage. They're just pushing, they're stalling for time with their Ice Blast, Fissure, Rockets, and letting their Potom, who is extremely mobile and does a lot of DPS at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see Potom pick up, say like a Butterfly relatively soon, or an MKB, or just some ridiculous DPS item, because this Potom is starting to get pretty scary, and this Weaver's not scaling as well. I mean, Weaver's tank, but every time, I feel like when Enigma doesn't have his Black Hole, Mineski are at a huge advantage, because you can't really fight against the BKB Slaughter without the Enigma Black Hole. I mean, you have Roar, you have Swap, but you know, Hook. You have so many more avenues of initiation for the Dire team that they can deal with it. And meanwhile, the clock goes in for a nice hook, but a swap in immediately, and Ice Blast is thrown out. Fissure, Black Hole catches 3 heroes, getting a lot of damage, but Jules is doing so much DPS from the background, and Earthshaker gets a double kill on the Enigma. Meanwhile, Oh, Mirana gets the kill on the Vengeful Spirit, just doing amazing amounts of DPS with the Mjolnir. And Weaver picks off the Earthshaker, but Weaver has to retreat. She's losing a lot of HP, and looks like the bottom with that Mjolnir is just raping face. And he forced a couple buybacks. I know Enigma did die. I don't know if Beastmaster died. I think Beastmaster did die. So, wow, Mineski, what a turnaround. I was definitely not expecting this at all. And you have to sort of... Let's see what Mineski decides to do. I mean, Enigma has no black hole, and the creeps are pushing down the top lane, so, you know, you can use this time to apply a bit of pressure, but it looks like Mineski probably wants to just take a safe Roshan, get that Aegis up on that bottom, or on that Slardar, probably the bottom, because bottom does so much DPS right now. You saw how quickly that Windrunner was, HP was dropping, even with the Hex. So, yeah. So, if I had to fault Nirvana China, I think it's that, you know, lack of TP scroll, not by the Weaver. I mean, when you already have a Heart and a Vanguard, you really don't need to carry that extra Planeswalker code. So that TP scroll could cost Nirvana China the game, basically, because they can't really push very effectively at all, because the Rockets and the Ancient Apparition Blast are pushing back the waves so heavily, and Nirvana China has to defend the base. They don't have like a Tinker or a Morphling that can easily defend 2 lanes at once. They don't have a Spectre who can haunt into a team fight. They just have a Weaver who is extremely mobile, but, you know, he has to run. Running across half the map does take like 8 seconds. So all this time, Mineski are just going to slow play this a bit, wait for the Roshan to respawn, take that Aegis, and probably try to go for the win there. But don't count Nirvana Shine out, because they do have the necessary tools to deal with pushing, and if Enigma manages to get more black holes like he has been. That last black hole got 2 or 3 people, but he didn't catch the bottom, and bottom was just doing way too much damage in the background, and Earthshaker, once he was free of the black hole, or once the black hole stopped happening, he blinked in, he dropped an Echo Slam, immediately killing 2 people right off the bat. And looks like Mirana DPS is just going to take down the tier 3 tower, is going to focus the mid-racks. Swarm is coming out, but Midrax is at less than half HP. Clock gets a nice hook in on the Weaver, trapping him inside for a good couple seconds, and Clockwork is dying, but, you know, they don't give a shit because Bottom leaps out with barely any HP at all. Meanwhile, Clockwork did die, but he occupied Weaver's time enough so that the mid-Rax does drop below half HP, so I think that's a worthy trade. Weaver time-lapses and manages to pick off the Slardar, so Slardar dies again. But all the while, the top lane's still being pushed. So, and more importantly, Mineski managed to pick up a tier 3 tower, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if the bot lane, or the top lane for Mineski has fallen, the ranged Rex, so that's going to be even more pressure. But I think what was pretty important is that Enigma did not use Black Hole in that team fight, and that was a good decision. I mean, had he used his Black Hole, they might have picked 3 or 4 heroes, but using your Black Hole on your side of the map, it won't really accomplish too much. You might be able to pick up a Roshan Aegis, but I'm sure the Dire team, sorry, has enough money to buy back. They'd be able to teleport in and help gank the Roshan, and they have one of the most epic Roshan ganking squads. They have the AA Blast, they have the Clock. Clock is probably the best Roshan jacker in all of the Dota scene. And no, the Range Rex is still up, but they also have the Palm Arrow, so even if Nirvana Channel wins a team fight, they can't safely Roshan with fear of buybacks, so they have to force buybacks, and more importantly, they have to win battles on Mineski's side of the map. If they win battles on their side of the map, you know, they're just going to keep farming, and they can't really take the Roshan, nor can they push the base very effectively. And meanwhile, we see Jules going to attack the Roshan, try to get it. Let's see if Nirvana China is going to recognize this. I mean, Nirvana is just doing so much damage right now, and the Aegis is about to pop on the Roshan. Swarm manages to catch a couple of heroes, but Roshan does fall, and looks like the Slardar picks up the Aegis. So Slardar is already taking a lot of damage right off the bat, and yeah, Bananas pretty much soloing the Slardar along with the Sea King, but Clock gets a beautiful hook in, and Black Hole is being disabled. He didn't get his BKB off. What a mistake by the Enigma, didn't click BKB, and the Black Hole was cancelled. So, wow, what a great hook in by the Hawk. Arrow following up, just doing a lot of damage. Beastmaster does die. Weaver is doing a lot of damage in the background, but he doesn't have the Aegis anymore. He has to time-lapse right now. He has to try to get away, but Weaver does fall finally. So, wow, this is really spectacular play by Mineski. Slaughter does die, which is unfortunate, but Mirana is still at half HP, and she's on the prowl. Nice fissure by the Earthshaker. And Beaver does buyback. Mental Spirit has to defend the top lane, and Enigma has to buyback. So, wow, what a hook in by the clock, catching 2 people in the cog, flustering the Enigma so much that you didn't have the presence of mind to press